The Zephyrin ambassador's silver exoskeleton gleamed under the harsh lights of the Geneva summit, whole as it extended 3 segmented appendages toward the human delegation. "We come in peace," the translator device chirped, its mechanical voice echoing through the chamber. Anna Chen, humanity's lead negotiator, smiled politely as she accepted the crystalline data tablet containing the treaty terms. Beside her, Jack Morrison, the grizzled military advisor, maintained his stoic expression, though his jaw tightened imperceptibly. "Your terms are generous," Anna said carefully, her dark eyes scanning the holographic text that shimmered above the tablet. "Territorial concessions, trade agreements, mutual defense, pacts all seemingly favorable to humanity." Too favorable. The Zephyrins had arrived 6 months earlier, their massive fleet emerging from slipspace at the edge of the solar system. Humanity had braced for war. Instead, the aliens had transmitted friendship protocols and requested diplomatic talks. The galaxy, they claimed, was governed by the Concordat, a coalition of advanced species that maintained peace through cooperation. Humanity, they said, was invited to join. But humanity hadn't survived countless wars, disasters, and near extinctions by taking strangers at their word. "We accept your treaty," Anna announced, her voice steady. "Pending ratification by our respective governments, of course." The Zephyron ambassador's primary eye cluster flickered with what the xenopsychologists had identified as satisfaction. "Excellent. The Concordat welcomes humanity with open appendages." As the ceremony concluded and the alien delegation departed through their shimmering portal, Jack leaned toward Anna. "Think they bought it? They're convinced we're naive primitives," Anna murmured, deactivating her neural recorder. "Perfect. 3 months earlier, before the Zephyrons had even transmitted their first greeting, humanity had known they were coming." Dr. Sarah O'Connor, working at the Lunar Farside Observatory, had detected the slipspace signatures weeks before the aliens' arrival, but she'd found something else: 2 quantum-encrypted transmissions between the approaching fleet and another source, deeper in space. Transmissions that predated humanity's first contact by decades. They'd been watching, waiting, planning. The intelligence community had worked around the clock. Military AIs had analyzed every known first contact scenario from human history and extrapolated thousands of alien behavioral models. The consensus was chilling. The Zephyrons were following a pattern consistent with subjugation rather than alliance. Admiral Rodriguez had presented the findings to the Global Defense Council. Every species the Concordat welcomed showed the same trajectory: initial prosperity, technological dependence, gradual loss of autonomy, and finally, complete integration. Read, absorption into Concordat power structures. They're not offering partnership, they're offering slavery with extra steps. The question wasn't whether to resist, it was how. Fighting was futile. The Zephyrins possessed weapons that could sterilize planets. But humanity had something the aliens didn't expect: the ability to lie convincingly while preparing for the inevitable betrayal. So humanity had smiled, nodded, and signed the treaty. And then they'd gotten to work. Jack stood in the control room of Firebase Prometheus, buried 3 kilometers beneath the Sahara Desert. Holographic displays showed the positions of humanity's hidden assets: asteroid mining facilities retrofitted as weapons platforms, sleeper ships carrying genetic archives and terraforming equipment, and the crown jewel project. "Please status report," Jack commanded. "All stealth satellites are in position," reported Commander Lee. "The Zephyron fleet hasn't detected any of them. They're still following standard patrol routes." Anna's face appeared on the main display, transmitting from the Geneva facility. "The Zephyrons just activated their integration protocols. They're sending technical advisors to Earth, just like we predicted. They'll try to embed themselves in our infrastructure within the week." "Let them," Jack said grimly. "We need them complacent. How long until they realize we've been reverse engineering their technology? Our quantum physicists cracked their slipspace equations 2 months ago," Anna replied. "We've already built 17 prototype drives. The Zephyrins think we're still decades away from independent FTL capability." The plan was audacious. Humanity would appear to comply with every Concordat directive while secretly developing the capability to evacuate Earth if necessary. But evacuation was the fallback. The primary objective was far more ambitious. Jack pulled up a star chart showing Zephyrin space. Red markers indicated Concordat, military installations, supply depots, and most importantly the locations of other subjugated species. "If we're going down," Jack had told the council, "we're taking the whole rotten system with us." The deception lasted exactly 1 year. The Zephyron overseer arrived on schedule, accompanied by an occupation force disguised as peacekeepers. Their first directive was predictable: humanity was to surrender all weapons systems and submit to authority for the greater good of galactic peace. Anna stood before the alien delegation in the same Geneva hall, where they'd signed the treaty. This time, she wasn't smiling. "No," she said simply. The overseer's translator device emitted a sound that might have been laughter. "You misunderstand your position, human. You cannot resist the Concordat. Your weapons are primitive. Your defenses are laughable. Submit, or be pacified." "You misunderstand our position," Jack said, stepping forward. Behind him, Holographic displays activated, showing real-time footage from across the solar system. You thought we were fools. We let you think that. The displays showed Zephyrin ships surrounded by humanity's hidden fleet. Every alien vessel in the solar system was bracketed by weapons that shouldn't exist, built from stolen Concordat technology, and improved by human desperation and ingenuity. Your treaty was a deception, Anna continued. But here's the thing about humanity: we invented deception. We've been lying to each other and fighting each other for millennia. You're amateurs, the overseers, eye clusters widened. This is impossible. You couldn't have. We did, Jack interrupted. And we've been transmitting everything we learned to every species you've enslaved. Right now, 47 worlds are receiving blueprints for slipspace drives, quantum weapons, and detailed maps of your military infrastructure. The Concordat's reign ends today. Anna's expression hardened. You wanted humanity in your little club. Congratulations, but we play by our rules now. Tell your superiors they have two choices. Negotiate a real peace, with real equality, or we turn this galaxy into a battlefield you can't win. The overseer stared at the humans, finally understanding the depths of their miscalculation. Humanity hadn't just discovered the deception they'd known from the beginning and had spent every moment since preparing for this confrontation. In the cold vacuum of space, human ships powered their weapons. On 47 worlds, enslaved species looked to the stars with hope for the first time in generations. The age of the Concordat was over. The age of humanity and true galactic freedom had begun.